Charan Sethi, president of the Tien group of companies, has built a multi-million-dollar real estate empire on nothing more than hard work and a positive attitude. He's done so by sticking to his core philosophies: treat your customer how you want to be treated, exceed expectations, build homes that you yourself would like to live in, and most importantly, give back to the community. Charan says it's a brick and mortar business, but at the end of the day, the business is all about people. Charan joins us today on Biz One-on-One to explain how his simple strategies have paid off and why they're so important to him. Charan, welcome to Biz One-on-One.
Thank you so much.
What does Tien mean?
Tien Sher.
Tien Sher.
Tien Sher. Tien Sher basically means 3 lions. So Tien in my language is 3, Sher means lions. Very simple. It comes from the beginning when myself and my 2 boys put the company together. And because I'm Punjabi, Sikh faith, our middle name is Singh, S-I-N-G-H, which is Sanskrit word for lion.
Okay.
So 3 lions, Papa, the 2 boys became Tien Sher.
So you came to this country from India. Your company's based in Vancouver area in Canada, right?
No, we actually came to England first to join our dad. And then we came here in 1978 and brought the family over. And I had 2 boys at that time, and then had my girl here in Canada.
And it's a classic, start from nothing type of success story. Like you came here with not much.
Pretty much. I mean, basically, we had $2,000 when we came here. And but tons of opportunities, and that's the reason we came here. Basically, we saw such a bright future, a long-term future for myself and my kids as well. I actually took a big pay cut when I came here because I was making a lot more money in England at that point than when I came here.
What were you doing in England?
In England, I was a machinist.
So, but you right from the start decided to get into the development business?
No, when I came here, I actually got into being a machinist, and because that's what I knew. I was not a registered person by any means, but I thought over time that the industry was holding me back. There was a ceiling which I did not like. I can only make so much. It's either normal hours or put as much overtime as we can, and then do odd jobs on the weekend, do swap meets and whatever makes it happen. I mean, basically do pizza delivery in the evening. So I at one time actually had 3 jobs. Machinist at nighttime, pizza delivery, machinist during the daytime, pizza delivery at nighttime, and working with builders on the weekend. And it paid off because I wanted a big start, and I thought everything's given to me as long as I'm willing to work.
So fast forward to today, you've built a lot of houses, developed communities, and you've got a development right now that I know that you're really proud of, where you're actually transforming communities now. Tell us about this Wally development.
Wally is an area where it's beaten down by media for a long, long time.
Bad part of town.
Bad part of town. Basically, drug addicts, prostitution, and some crime as well. But it's been beaten down, it's been overemphasized that it's a bad area. When we bought the property, I saw a different end of it. I saw some absolutely amazing people who lived there, up to 3rd generation people still live there, and their heart's as good as yours and mine, maybe even better. And it's a wonderful feeling when you get people like that, and they get put down all the time. And I felt, being a small developer at that time, that I had an opportunity to buy such a large amount of land. It was just an easy story for me to say, okay, buy as much as we can. And we ended up buying about 12.5 acres in that 3-block radius. It was one of the best investments that we ever made in our lives. And the sad part was everybody around me was telling me I'm going a little cuckoo because why am I buying into such a bad area? But I saw different things. I thought, I got an opportunity to build actually a community of my own my own little city. And that's what excited me the more about it than anything else, because taking a piece of dirt which wasn't developed, hasn't been touched for decades, and then transforming it into something special, that makes you feel good.
And that's a big issue in every city in North America, probably around the world. There's always these areas that somehow get run down, and it sort of feeds on itself. And it's the private sector, the individual creative developers that have a vision that will go in there and do what you did.
Yeah, it's always a case. Sometimes, I hate to say this, it's not politically correct statement, but sometimes politicians think they'd build the cities. No, it's a private enterprise. The people who go out there and work it out and make it happen. And we do need the government, we do need the municipality to help us make it there. And I think it's a way to go. And for us, it's been absolutely phenomenal journey to be where we are, and we'll continue on our journey to make it happen to what we first started off with.
So sometimes I think of developers, and obviously there are big, large development companies, as they're portrayed as the bad guys when they were coming in with this project or that project. You started out as small as can be, and you've grown into a fairly significant developer in the greater Vancouver area. Tell me about the creativity of developing, and what's the best part of it for you?
I think the best part is basically taking a piece of dirt, piece of land, which hasn't been developed or has some old buildings on it, and basically revitalizing into a brand new city which works as a community as well. And that's very important to me, because having that much land that we bought in that neighborhood, we can actually turn that into a little mini city of ourselves. So by the time I'm finished with our block, if my strength and health holds out, we'll build up close to 2,000 homes. And 2,000 homes will translate to roughly about 3,500, 4,000 people living in the neighborhood. Live, work, and play. And that's basically the whole essence of that whole community that we are building into it.
So you are a successful developer in Lower Mainland of Vancouver, a major city in North America, and you told me that just recently you let your taxi driver license go. So how does that, tell me that story.
Maybe I shouldn't have told you that. Yeah, when I came in back in 1978, people told me, Charan, you could lose a job on a Friday afternoon, they could tell you. In England, that didn't happen. You didn't lose your job that quickly. And to secure myself, my family welfare, I went and got a driver license, a taxi driver license. Mm-hmm. As a security, just in case I lose a job, I'll go and drive taxi.
Backup plan.
A backup plan. I always have a backup plan. What if things go wrong? What can I do? And so I held on to that. I never drove one day of taxi and kept it. And I think it was about 2-3 weeks ago when a renewal came in for my license. And every year I have to, because I'm a taxi driver, I had to take a medical test. And I thought, oh God, this is not good. So I called up ICBC and I said, this is what it is. Do I have to do this? He said, yeah, what you can do is you can downgrade your driver license down to 5.
To a regular license.
To a regular license, and you don't have to do it. And that was basically.
So did you have to think for a second? Okay, so you never ever drove the taxi, but it gave you that little piece of security that you had that backup plan.
Peace of mind that I got to protect my family and their welfare, and the income has to be there because life is expensive. Yeah. And you got to do what you got to do, and that's what I did. Yeah, it did. I did pause for a minute. Should I not?
So now, and you told me that you've been mentored by some really great people, and now you're mentoring other young business people. Talk to me about that whole process.
I've been very fortunate in my life. I've always had an open mind. I learn from everybody. I learn from you. I learn from anybody. The young, old, doesn't really matter because I have that open mind. And I've had, as I say, just phenomenal mentors because I wanted to learn. And through that experience, I get approached all the time by younger people who read about me and say, how did you make from where you are today? And in fact, I got an email, I think it was on Sunday, from a realtor in Vancouver saying, I read about you, I would like to be mentored by you. Can I come and see you? And I welcomed that opportunity because I don't think I'm teaching them anything. I think I'm learning from that experience, because now whatever I say to them, I have to really think about it, verbalize it, and then share that my experiences with them. I never tell them what to do. I tell them what I've done, or if they say, what would you do? This is what I would do. I don't tell them they should do that. They need to take their own personality, their own circumstances to make it happen. So again, very fortunate. I got 9 people now who I'm mentoring, and it's a wonderful experience, and it's wonderful to see those people succeed with my little help.
So Charan, I know that the word legacy is very important to you. Tell me about what you mean by that.
Legacy is something you leave behind for yourself, your children, and your grandchildren, and their children. Something that they can be proud of. I think Wally has given me that absolutely phenomenal opportunity.
Wally being the real estate development in the Surrey area in Vancouver.
That's right. So having that much land and building a little mini city of my own and making a change happen from the naysayers that this shouldn't be done, it can't be done, it's a bad area, so forth, and actually make it happen. And then once the buildings are up, you stand on the other side of the street and you look up and say, yes. That's a wonderful feeling. To be able to take your grandchildren over to the site, walk them around where people say it was unsafe. And I have done that for years, and they go with me sometime on the weekend. We go there, we walk around, as it's one of the safest places in the universe. And I have no problem with that. To me, that's heartwarming. That's a legacy. That's something that grandchildren can say, Papa built this.
And it's not just about the money.
Absolutely not. No. If it was just about the money, there's a lot easier way of making money. Going to the area which has a higher return on your investment. But I think that what's happened is I've become obsessed with redevelopment of Wally, because I think it deserves it. I'm maybe an instrument. The community backs me up. The city backs me up, mayor and council, the planners, everybody. And I think it's something I'm very passionate about, and that will create a legacy in the long run. And yes, it will make me money, but I would make more money somewhere else. But I think it makes me money, but it leaves something solid that I can look back, or my children, my grandchildren can look at it and say, yes, there is something very special here.
So we have a lot of people watching Biz 101 that aspire to be entrepreneurs and aspire to have the kind of success, multi-million-dollar real estate developments, and you've got a beautiful family, grandchildren, and you live a life you don't even need a taxi license anymore. Like, you've made it. So what do you think is one or even a couple of real key pieces of advice that you'd give to someone maybe in your shoes, just thinking of transitioning from their safe job and getting into the world of entrepreneurship?
That's exactly what happened to me. I gave up back in 1985, $43,000 machinist job.
That's big money back then.
Back, it was a lot of money. I was really well paid. And the point is, I wasn't happy where I was. I wanted to proceed further. And so I took the plunge and took a chance on becoming a realtor, because I thought, that has no limits on it. And going into that, I think makes it happen. From there, that point, I met again another really good mentor who taught me how to sell real estate, build up a thick skin first of all, and stay focused. Key thing, I think, in anything, in any way of life, whatever you want to choose to do so, is staying focused. Find what you want to do, stay focused. And you are going to meet a lot of negative people, and they're going to suck the life out of you. They're going to tell you you're on the wrong path. Ignore them. Just ignore them. Don't stay around with them. Say hi, walk away. You don't need to sit with them, even if they're your best of relatives. Deal with them because you have to, but don't have to be with them.
Be kind, but ignore the naysayers.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's wonderful advice.
Yeah.
You said you've had like 6 or 7 or some number of different career paths. So you mentioned going into becoming a realtor and then becoming a real estate developer. What are some of the other things that you did along the way?
Cleaning, being a helper to a builder, a foundry worker.
Pizza delivery.
Pizza delivery. So I did. So,
I'm encouraged by this because I know both my sons have done well with doing pizza delivery while they're going to school. So maybe they can follow your footsteps.
Maybe pizza delivery is the way to go to become rich.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Charan, it's an absolute delight to have you on Biz One-on-One, and really wish you the best of success in whatever you're going to do next. And thank you so much for what you're doing for the community of Surrey and Vancouver.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being on the show, Charan.
Thank you.